Hey, welcome back, everyone. Tom from Park Avenue Trading, your chief dealer, keeping you sane in insane markets. Starting off our weekly analysis, weekly forecast, euro dollar. All right. Um, we talked about on Friday, I said that we needed two consecutive punches up on the 4-hour chart to show some strength. We have done that. Okay, so right now the euro dollar it's not really catching a big bid. But it's showing a little bit signs of bullish tendency. But in the background, macroly, we got Germany that's production is way down. Um, we got the Ukraine war situation that's on the table. It looks like the Europeans have said that they want to continue the war by buying U.S. weapons. Now, Trump has made it quite known that the United States is out. If we can't come together with a peace deal, we're out. It's up to you guys. You want to continue buying our weapons? That's fine. You want to put it there? Go ahead. It's really a waste of money because the Europeans really can't even get one division together. And if they went into that theater of war against the Russians, it's just going to be a meat grinder, in my opinion. So, and also, we've got to look at the European Union structure itself. In Europe, you get 2 months off or a month off in the summer of August. Everybody takes vacation. You paid for that. You have free health care. And the reason you have all these things in Europe is because the United States was protecting them. In the United States, we don't have this free health care or anything like that because we buy F-35s and we build, you know, JFK supercarriers. And so we were actually the policemen of the world. We were putting money towards it, and the brunt of it, the U.S. citizen was always affected. And Trump saying, "No more. If you want to fight that war, go ahead. Europeans can't afford it." So that's lingering in the background macroly. We got to pay attention to that. So if we're looking at the euro dollar, I'm going to go over to the weekly chart. Let's go over to the weekly. And we can see that we made a new high this week, which is actually showing euro strength. However, it needs to hold this high. And there's another resistance point right here at 117.80. The main resistance is up here at 118.30. Oh, I got Bitcoin alerts going on. Don't mind that. Let me just get rid of that alert. Yep, of course it's trading upward. Hang on a second here. Let me look at my Bitcoin. Yeah, cool. All right, so euro dollar itself, and you're going to come in on the dailies, and I'm going to give you the daily analysis, right? The important points. But right now, as it stands, the resistance is still right here at like say 117, say 50 right now. Um, on the short term that we looked at, we had two punches higher. And I'm gonna go back to that in a second. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart here. If I look at the 4-hour chart, okay, so we got the two punches in a row up, which means that we could get a retrace back down to 116.70. If you're a Euro bull, you're going to want to look at that point. Let me get rid. Now Ethereum's kicking off. All right, so if you're a Euro bull, you're going to want to watch that level closely because it's at this point that the Euro can make one last surge upward. If it holds this level and pops up, it could come up, and I'm thinking it can come up to come back. Let's get right over here. We can potentially come up to like 117, like 90. All right. Now that's the critical point because I don't really see the euro dollar catching any major tailwinds right now. That's just my opinion. And again, come over to the daily analysis and we'll cover that. All right. So we got to look at the euro dollar versus the US dollar index. This was all dollar yen. Okay, that drop down was dollar yen falling from like 148 80 to 146 like 50. Right there. That was all dollar yen. Euro dollar caught somewhat of a bid right here, but you notice it didn't continue. It hit this point of 117.30 and cooled off. on the 6 hour, which leads me to believe there could be more of a retracement back down in the euro dollar. If you're a euro bull, like I said, you got to watch the level. I just said like 116.80. That would be the level that you want to pay attention to. If the index continues to fall by dollar yen continuing downward, or the euro and the sterling catching a bid, yeah, okay, we could see that 118, the figure 118.30 being attacked. But as it stands right now, if we're looking at the crosses, euro yen hasn't really taken off, and sterling yen got hit back down. Um, and I'm going to get into those obviously in a second. Now, I see a lot of people out there that just selling products, and they're like, oh, look at correlated currencies like sterling and then the euro. If the sterling's going up, then the euro is going up. No, you don't look at those. You look at euro sterling itself. You look at the cross itself. That will tell you whether or not euro is actually moving. Because if the euro sterling is stable and they're both moving up, there is no euro breakout. It's just a natural movement that's occurring. So you have to understand the relationship of the crosses. And obviously, those people in those groups don't really understand the relationship in the crosses, and they talk nonsense always, always. So maybe I'll do a thing on the cross itself. All right, so let's move on over to good old sterling yen. Here's the sterling, and I was working on this before. Let me get rid of this here so talk about it. Let's get rid of this arrow right here. All right, sterling yen resistance this week, 239. Notice how it came up to a cat's, whisker of, of the recent high that we had and reversed. It's amazing how that happens. Right now, the support is 197.82. It's trading a close at 198.75. That's the point and like warning point for the week, the 197.85. If that level breaks, I was just doing the analysis myself. If that level breaks, we could trade back down towards I would go right in this area here, 195, 196 the figure. If we can get upward movement, I think we'd be tracking here. But really, the breakdown below is opening the path to that point right there, 195 the figure. Now you say, oh, Tom, 190, 198 is far away. Not in Forex, we're not. We're definitely not far away as Forex is concerned. So really what you want to do in sterling, yen, you want to watch that 197.80 level. And of course, I'll guide you through in the daily analysis. Let's move on over to good old dollar yen. This is the one, man. This is the one. Okay, so here's the weekly. All right. If we're looking at 1, 2, 3, main support point right now in dollar yen is 146, say 20-ish. The resistance, when we popped up through this high of 148.50, we went to 148.72. I'm going to move this up. This is now the new overall resistance this week. And Dalian's doing something interesting, in my opinion. Hang on, let me light my cigar and I'll come right back in a second. There we go. We're ready to go. All right. So, what it's doing that's interesting. Okay, I'm going to take you over to the shorter term chart because short term always leads to long term. Okay. I had resistance at 148.11. As you all know, I was long dollar yen at 147.38. Sold some at 148.30. So up at 140. I even sold a piece at 148.70, I think. And then I put a stop loss at 148.20 taken out. Okay. I expected a breakdown to potentially 146.20. That's that main point that I was talking about. But notice how it has started to kind of reverse upward. Now, this is very interesting. Because the Fed, said, okay, they're turning dovish on rates, right? Japan is supposed to raise rates. They haven't done it. Now we've got to start to question macroly, why hasn't Japan raised rates? Well, there's also tariffs on Japan that Trump imposed. So in my opinion, they're actually looking for a weaker yen because that will absorb the tariffs and they'll be able to export more. So I think in the background, the Japanese are looking to not to have a very strong yen. So that's running in the background, in my opinion. So this week, right now, and I'll give the points out since we just only went down to like 146.57. It's a low, but it's not a deeper low than previously. If we look, oops, let me get rid of the freaking thing, man. I hate this thing. Come over here. Here was a point 146.20. That's where I got the support. Okay, so that's the deeper low. Hasn't been able to break that. Now, if it breaks, it's going to change the scenario. But if it holds this, and we can get back above, say, 147, say 35, the dollar yen's probably moving back upward towards that 150 level. Now, again, got to get in the dailies because I'll cover the points in the dailies. But I see dollar yen really not falling out of bed. I see it actually consolidating and coiling, looking to move upward. All right, so let's go on over to good old sterling dollar. Right here, sterling dollar. This is very similar to the euro dollar, but not exactly the same. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the main support right now is down here at 132.55. We made a low at 133.80. I had a main support point there. I alerted you to it. Nice movement upward off of the support. Uh, couldn't reach the high. So what's that telling you? You know, it's still not, doesn't have full tailwind behind it saying, yes, sterling bull run. No, it's still in consolidation. Okay. So the most important point on the week coming up is that 133.80. It's got to hold that. Okay. If it breaks through that, you know, we're looking at a movement back down to 132.50. Now, it's got to get above 136. There's monster resistance at like 136.15. It's got to get above that. If it can get above that, it's showing actually some strength. Okay. And that's when you're going to be looking at the, you know, the euro sterling cross, right? Because that actually could actually maybe catch some bid to it. Again, got to come to the dailies and we'll talk about it. Let's look at good old euro yen. All right, here's euro yen. The main support points 169.90, 170 the figure. Okay. Um, its inability to get above 173 is also showing the same thing that kind of sterling yen showing. There's no real movement in it. It's all based off of dollar yen. So now if dollar yen can recover, dollar yen can recover, and the European, like the euro could stay stable or even slightly stop moving up. Same thing with cable. If it could hold and start, you know, moving upward, then the crosses are going to recover. But right now, as it stands, the 173 is holding. 1, 2, 3. The main support really is a large range. It's like right down there is the main support. I will give you the points during the week to watch, but I got to show you that a break of looking at this 171 is opening up downward pressure, you know. So we'll take that one step at a time. So that's what I got going on for you guys for the weekly forecast. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. There's a free video and ebook on price breakouts for you. I'm gonna be starting the boot camp videos today, so I can get one out on the 26th, just a couple of days from now. And it's going to be on market structure. So I look forward to seeing you in those. And also remember, as a short-term trader, got to enjoy the party, man, and dance near the door. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.